Today we're going to pick up on a project that I should have started back in the winter and fall of last year. So we're going to go ahead and suffer through this. That project is going to be our 60-inch finish mower. Let's dive on in. So as you can see here, we've gotten the majority of the deck separated from all the external pieces. The spindles, all the belts, the pulleys, everything like that have been yanked off. Anything that isn't welded together, I went ahead and pulled apart. And today I want to get focused on removing the rest of the parts that need to be attended to, that we're not going to be able to unbolt or pull apart. So originally, these arms right here that would have held the I don't know, like carrier wheels, something like that, whatever you'd call them, they would have slid inside of a slot here, and they would have extended out into this area, and this bolt, you would have tightened it down to hold that arm in place. And I'm thinking if you needed to bring this arm in or expand it out, that little set screw or set bolt would give you the separation from the deck that you needed with the wheels. So I'm thinking my goal is going to be to come through in all these areas that we have these real nasty welds. I'm going to take our angle grinder and we're going to cut all of this stuff off, and we're also going to go through and cut these set screws, these nuts, cut all them off, and then eventually we'll come back and we'll add a new piece of steel to come off of here, match this angle, and take this tube right here and set that on the new piece of steel. So the only thing we're really going to keep is going to be this arm, or this piece right here of the arm. All this right here, all this nasty rusted stuff will go away. So with all that being done, we're going to put ourselves in a position where we can then flip the deck over and get working on the bottom side of it. Not a real bad wind this morning, but it sure is pretty hot for us to be outside doing this work. We got old Tommy Bahama in the background providing us with some AC. We're about to get the earbuds in, get some tunes going, and we're going to start hacking away at this little mower. Got all that rust and nastiness down in there. All right, I think I'm gonna abandon the angle grinder and just stick to the saw blade, the Sawzall. I'll come back in the areas I cut off and we'll get the actual grinder attachment and then clean all that up to prep it for later. The metal that we're gonna replace here, we're just gonna run on top of it. So it's not gonna go inside this tube. We're just gonna cap the top of it. So we'll run a piece over and then we'll run a bead down here, up, and then back around here on the bottom. I think what happened, why these arms are all busted up, is they probably rusted out in that area that turns up. And so what they did was they hacked off the inner tube piece and then just set it up against it, put some scab pieces on the outside, and then just welded that back to it. It was like a quick fix, but just over time it's just not as strong welding rusty material back together. All right, take a look at her here. She's so smooth, streamlined, getting her back into some fighting weight. And this right here, all this sweat, I don't know if you can see it around my neck, but this right here is why this is supposed to be a fall winter project. I think today we're gonna get really close to about 90 degrees, which it doesn't seem like a lot, but it's like a highest UV scale that you can get, and very, very marginal wind, so that the air just gets like super stagnant. But we're gonna push through. All right, so the way we're gonna find the center here to lay it out on our block of wood to figure out where we can weld this plate on the underside too. I'm going to take a piece of paper here and a block of wood to fit it up directly underneath here. I'm going to take a marker, just get a nice outline of it. I can do this a few different ways. What I think I'll do is I'll just cut this circle out right here, and then I'll fold it twice in half, and then that'll give me my center mark. I can lay this out plus the center mark on the piece of wood, and then set this down over it to get my screw holes, and then we should be in business. So we got our deck all flipped over here, and you can see a little bit better now what I was talking about earlier. These are the baffles. This right here is the front. This right here is the front of the mower. This is the back of the mower. So what we're going to want to do is eliminate all of these baffles and move them over to this side of our mower deck, so the side, the tractor side, and then we're going to come back and hack off the bottom of this mower here, or the back side of the mower, so we can let the grass and everything fall. This opening is going to be covered up, and the same thing with the other side. So here's my little gauge here. It's not much to it, but we'll fit it down inside these holes. There it is. We do got a little bit of plane movement, which is fine. Take our tape measure here. We can measure out to 10 inches. And bam, just like that, we've got a nice perfect circle all the way around here. We can build our baffling in the back and round it into the side plate here without ever coming into contact. So I'm going to do this 2 more times. We'll line out this one right here, and then our last one right here. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and call this video done here for the day. On top of that, the wasps aren't too happy because I've had to knock out a few of their nests that were up underneath this deck. I'm pretty happy with it. Give us a comment down below if you got any recommendations before I get too crazy with this, and we'll pick this back up another day. This is Mike with Fighting Ibis. Thank you very much for stopping by, and we'll see you on the next one.